Man, um, I was just listening to the what was it the hearing. Fauci was on in another Senate hearing, I guess. I have to say this. Um, we just are not asking the right questions. The wool is being pulled over the eyes of America. A lot of people are getting fed up, and we're fed up. Let's say we're fed up with the regulations. We're fed up with the double talk. We're fed up with some people not being quite straight with us because we can sense the lies that are coming out of their mouths. We feel the pain and the fact that some of us can't go to work. Some of us, our jobs are gone. We'll never get them back again. Some of us, our businesses are gone, and we'll never get them back again. And the people who are directing all of this don't feel anything. In fact, I just read a report from Forbes, I believe, that the big tech companies, Amazon is another one that's thrown in there, trading on NASDAQ, that the NASDAQ is going to be doing really well because of how well they're doing. Apple, the social media companies, Google is another one, and Amazon, doing really well. But they're doing well because of the lockdowns. Why? What are you doing? You're on Apple TV watching shows or YouTube, that's Google, watching things. You're on the Google now. Yeah, you're on Google right now, right? So they're making money. It's paying them. And the politicians who are living in their pockets just get a little bit. So the politicians are happy. They feel none of the pain you feel. I feel none of it. I've spoken with the gentlemen in New Jersey who are taking a brave stand because in that state in particular, that governor, just like the other governors of the shutdowns, but they take certain things personally. That's a great example of it. But see, the rest of it, we've got to ask the right questions. The right questions. We've got to do that. Why don't we do that? Good question. Here's a thought. The senator, I believe, was asking a question. Ask Fauci about hydroxychloroquine. Fauci says, well, they don't have any placebo-controlled double-blind studies proving the efficacy of hydroxychloroquine. Interesting. I found an article specifically mentioning the safety and efficacy of chloroquine and its use in treating SARS. I can link to that, but I mean, if you're interested, I'll link to it. But that's the thing, chloroquine. So it seemed to me, well, Fauci's playing a word game, semantics. The senator may not have known about the study about chloroquine. So hydroxychloroquine, we don't know. It couldn't be. There are doctors who stood up in front of the Supreme Court. 2 days they did that. The one doctor, Simone, I believe her name is, but she got fired from her job. Okay. You go to Facebook, takes down anything that suggests that anything other than what the World Health Organization says could be true. Anything that disagrees with the American CDC or the International Organization, World Health Organization, WHO, is considered misinformation, false. I put up a couple of Facebook posts that were flagged because of false information, misleading, and get fact checked. Why? America, there's some of us don't ask the question, why is that? I mentioned at one time, people know I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, Jehovah's Witnesses say they are the only channel for truth in the world. They are the truth. They have the truth. And they'll show you in their publications, this is the proof. Now, you can't look at any other. If you try to read the Bible and the Bible says something different than what they're saying, now you can't question them. You could be punished for questioning them. Who? They call them the governing body, or the governing body is called the faithful and discreet slave. The scriptures that they use to they say back that claim up, don't say what they said it says. None of them do, right? Yet there are 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses, or thereabout, who, yep, that's what it says, yep. Now, many of you would hear me say that and you go, oh, stupid, I hate Jehovah's Witnesses. How can they be so stupid? How can they be so blind? Well, America, how the same question could be directed at you. Because anyone who says, oh, here's where the truth is, don't go there, that's not true. This is where the truth is. And you're going to say, oh, okay, that's true. You're going to put on your mask? Well, I have to. That's going to make you safe, and you believe that. How old are you? Some of you out there, 40 years old, 50 years old, 30 years old. Any other time there's been a flu bug or virus, what did you do? You didn't do all the stuff you're doing now, and yet here you are living now and you're fine. Some people get sick and die, yeah. Did you ever ask the question, how many people got sick from the flu last year or the year before that? Could it possibly have been more than 150,000 worldwide? Did you even ask? There's a reason why people don't want you to look anywhere. You watched The Wizard of Oz, didn't you? Don't look behind that curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Why? Look behind the curtain, America. Come on. Look behind the curtain. I would ask, and I'm thankful I heard this one doctor. She was a Nigerian doctor. The one they say isn't a doctor and she's crazy and all. Of course they're going to say that. She said, the thing I was saying too, I have said this in certain comments and trying to discuss this with people whom I know, or I don't argue with them long because pointless. I get further talking to a rock. But when is the last time Dr. Fauci put a stethoscope on a patient? Dr. Fauci is an academic. He's a bureaucrat. That's what he does, and that's what he does well. But medicine? Come on. He knows it on paper. How many of you people learn how to drive on paper? Well, no, you got behind the wheel, didn't you? And guess what? It's a little different behind the wheel than it is on paper now, isn't it? There's some things that it's not on the paper. You have to know how many adjustments you make to make that steering wheel in a trip. Well, ask the question. Why is it that you have to, what does a mask actually do for you? I'll get back to that. Virus. Is the virus a living thing? Is it? Bet you think it is. Well, ask any virologist. Is a virus a living thing? No, it's not. What's the difference between a virus and an exosome? E-X-O-S-O-M-E, exosome. Yes, it's a real word. You wouldn't, maybe you wouldn't know to ask that question. You should. One question put to Fauci was asked about mod RNA. Wait a second. Here's my question. Now, these tests, the PCR test, I'm trying to remember the doctor's name, who invented the PCR test. It was never intended for what they're using it for now. And interestingly enough, he died in August of 2019 of pneumonia. Official diagnosis, pneumonia. What does this COVID-19 do? Classic, they say, fiberglass lungs. I've had pneumonia 3 times. I know just what that feels like. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm in the category. Asthmatic. I'm overweight. Older. I should be terrified of this COVID-19. Well, here's the thing. I'm not. Is it deadly? So is the flu. If you have comorbidities and you're already susceptible, but some people are fear addicts. They like the fear. The problem is the leaders are using that to divide us and pit us one against the other. If someone sees me without a mask, it's like that movie, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. A woman took it upon herself to mace a couple who were eating outside, walked through 2 fence gates to get to them, to mace them in their face and mace their food. Why? Because they weren't wearing masks. They're eating food. You wear a mask and eat food. But she, again, fearfully, blindly following the lead of people they laugh at us fighting each other. They read a story like that and just like the demons do, laughing at us. There's things. Here's one for doctors who do put stethoscopes to patients. And many doctors, of course, they're going to take the side of the Fauci people. Here's a question for you guys. Tell me this. What's the difference when you look at a patient? Tell me, how do you diagnose the difference between viral pneumonia and bacterial pneumonia? Oh, you can't. You can't tell looking at a patient what the difference is. They act the same. Pneumonia is pneumonia, whether it's viral or bacterial. Here's something else. Last year, somewhere around September into October, I got sick. How many of you did that happen to? Huh? Got sick in 2019. Got sick, like man sick. It hung on. And I got it like 2 rounds. First, it got me in the chest, like, I try not to use my inhaler because I try to exercise. If I keep my lungs and keep moving and keep my lungs challenged, I don't need the inhaler. However, if I sit around, start getting lazy, I'm back on the inhaler again. Well, I was puffing that thing like a chain smoker and thought I was getting better, and then I got hit with the other half of it. What the heck? My colon wanted to turn inside out. Not just me, the rest of my family got through it. Well, I don't think I got my wife this bad. She has a strongest immune system. Hey, why doesn't anybody talk about an immune system? And of course, quite interestingly, it's July now. Okay, in June, I'll have to find that study. Maybe I can link to that too. That article where the CDC admitted that the coronavirus is airborne. There can be airborne transmission. Yet they put Lexan plastic in front of the cashiers because God knows a virus can't travel right around the Lexan. No way. If it sees your mask, it's going to stop. A virus is so tiny. And you've heard it before. Many of you have heard it's like putting up a chain link fence to stop mosquitoes. And speaking of mosquitoes, have you seen a whole lot of mosquitoes this season? I haven't. Well, one reason why you haven't is because you're locked down in your daggum house. Okay. I digress. At any rate, there's some things I could tell you that just would not make sense to you at all. You would never think. But the wool is being pulled over your eyes, and the problem is that you're fighting each other over it. And we're not asking the right questions. The right question is, how can I help you, neighbor? How you doing today? Not, you don't have a mask? Here, I have a mask for you. No. Your neighbors are hurting. Is there somebody you haven't seen in a long time because they're stuck in the house? Maybe they need some help. We have that issue. My daughter went to their house and knocked on the door, and they were terrified because she didn't have a mask on. Oh, you should wear your mask. You're being considerate of others. Last thing, I'm gonna leave you with this. Where I worked, I used to wear masks. That's why I had a box of masks, because if I were ever sick, I would wear a mask. Why? Everyone looked at me like, oh, what's wrong with you? Stay away from me. I'm wearing the mask for you. In case I cough or sneeze, I don't get it on you. You're safer when I'm wearing them at you. And they were so uncomfortable. People just did it, spooked them. Okay, fine, I'll take the mask off. But you get sick if I take the mask off. That's what the mask is for. Put on somebody sick who might cough. I challenge it. Hey, Dr. Fauci, explain asymptomatic transmission. Oh, it's possible, you know. How? Tell me, how? I know, but I want to hear some brilliant scientific minds say so. And tell me how the mask stops that. I'll wait. I mean, you got time. Listen, hey, turn this thing off and go look up some kind of journal or something and get back. Put in a comment or something. I'd love to hear that one. All right, listen, I've talked enough. I have to go. But thanks for your time anyway. I hope you do. Please ask the right questions. Just ask the right questions. Don't just accept them. Who cares who am I? I'm nobody. Check it out. Follow up. Verify. Don't just accept something because somebody has some letters after their name, or they're wearing a lab coat, or they're standing up on television. Okay? I mean, I know this should be completely common sense, but there's no such thing as common sense anymore. It died. It's not so common. So, with that in mind, I hope you have a blessed day. Take care. Bye-bye.